All right, hello everyone. We are here to talk about October games. It is October 1st when we are recording this, just to let everybody know. But I'll try to post this as soon as possible on YouTube. And how about we have our guests introduce themselves? Dan, would you like to start?
If I must, my name is Dan. I like video games. I stream video games on Dante Must Die 8. I'm currently playing Death Stranding and Bloodborne.
Nice. Kyle?
I'm Kyle. I don't stream. I'm a viewer. I'm here to represent the ordinary viewership of Twitch. None of this highfalutin streaming or anything.
Well, technically you stream a little bit of speedruns, so don't just cut yourself short. You could go and follow him.
I might have caught one.
Just to bother him during his speedruns. But my name is Asevera. I'm a variety streamer, and lately I've been playing games like Fall Guys and Spiritfarer, and soon Crash Bandicoot, which happens to be our first game we're going to talk about. Exciting. So, well, it actually is really exciting to me because that's the one I'm most excited about this month, this year, this decade. No, probably not the decade. But Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, is coming out tomorrow, October 2nd. And it's Activision's first original Crash game. So before they made like the remastered trilogy, which was great and beautiful and wonderful, but this is actually just a fully new game, never seen before. So that's pretty cool. Oh, my YouTube video is buffering.
It definitely looks like a return to form.
Well, anyway.
Not the YouTube video as Crash 4, so clear.
Yes.
To be fair, that is the level where you stop time, isn't it? So
there you go. This is actually the game slow time, as you can see on the screen. You can slow time with masks. Good save.
I love the buffering aesthetic.
Yeah, it's very realistic. Anyway, but it says on the website and whatnot that there are more than 100 levels in this game, which is more than, I believe, the whole Insane trilogy put together. So it sounds like this game is going to be massive, which is great. People are surprised, and they're like, wait, is there really? And some people are saying like, nah, there's not actually going to be more than 100 levels. But
yeah,
really
it depends on how you count it as well, though, right? Because even the demo has basically 2 of the same level. So
yeah,
does that count as 2 levels?
I think so.
Inverted levels count as extra stages?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So then it basically would mean that, let's say there's 50 levels.
That's still a good chunk of game.
Yeah, but then like I feel like they still count as new levels because they're maybe not all of them, but some of them seem like completely different experiences. So it might be like 50 and 50 like different take on it, which is still great. So I think. But yeah, Dan, would you like to give your thoughts on the whole thing?
Like I said earlier, it definitely looks like a return to form because I've played some bad Crash games over the years. I don't think I've played one that I've enjoyed since Twin Sanity.
Oh. Wait, did you play the remaster though?
No, other than the remaster, I mean like
Okay.
original. I played a couple of the ones from last gen. I think it was Mind Over Mutant, and no, did not enjoy. But I loved the original trilogy.
Yeah. I have actually not played any of them other than the original trilogy, but I really wanted to play Twin Sanity. I just never got to, so I was kind of hoping that they make another remaster, but
it wasn't amazing, but it was fine.
But I think I've heard that it just didn't do as well as it could have because of like marketing issues. So it sounded like it was a really good game that just didn't happen to sell well. So bringing it back like with better marketing would have been great, but
I'd rather that than the follow-up games for sure.
Yeah, but at least it's not a remaster of the Mutant games, because I don't want to see that.
Yeah, those are the games I'm referring to. That they're not good.
Yeah. Did you get to play the demo or anything like that, or?
Of Crash 4, no, but I've watched you stream it. And I watched another streamer last week actually. It looks lovely.
What about you, Kyle?
Yeah, I mean, I would echo all of that. I'm actually, I think, relieved that it's good. Because I'm reminded of when Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 came out. And it was quite audacious for the developers to put a 5 on the end of it as if it was the return to form from the original 4 games. And then it turned out to be utter trash. And they've done the same here. They've obviously called it Crash 4, which is a big deal. But it has lived up to that name. It's not only as good, but in fact seems to be the best Crash yet, by far. So yeah, I'm very excited. And there's lots in it as well that I really like. There's, there's Tawna being just wonderful. Yeah, and then just I love how varied all the decoration is as well. There even seems to be a level that's entirely just a sort of musical playground, running around on pianos and drum sets and stuff. It's great.
A glimpse of that.
Am I right in saying that there's 5 playable characters as well?
Yes, there should be, because it's
I think so.
Crash and Coco, Tawna, the big fella
Cortex,
whose name I can't
Dingo
remember.
Dial?
Dingo Dial.
Dingo
Yeah.
Dial, yes.
Yeah. His I think his whole shtick is like Luigi's Mansion Hoover platform segments, which was kind of interesting.
He has some sort of vacuum something.
Yeah.
Or is that a fire? No, water? I don't remember. Has some sort of device that he's carrying around, yeah.
They've added all these new gameplay things, but they seem to have done it quite thoughtfully. So, for example, the slow down time power up, if you collect a Wumpa fruit whilst it's active, it doesn't actually collect until after the time stop runs out.
I didn't notice
so they've obviously put quite a lot of thought into how it should work, So.
Yeah, that's a neat little detail.
Hmm.
Do you guys have any?
The masks have a mismatch of abilities as well, don't they?
Yeah, there's like 4 different ones, I think.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Sonic Colors in that respect, which is not a bad thing at all, because that was probably fairly playable.
Fairly? I haven't played it, but fairly playable does not sound great.
I mean, the highlight of that was the different abilities you could get.
Oh. I see.
It looks like they've kind of like not ripped it off, but tried to make their own version.
Yeah, I think there are 4 abilities, if I'm not mistaken, and I think we also haven't seen much of the 4th mask at all, so we don't even know what it's going to be. But yeah, there's a slow down time. I think there's like a continuous spin one.
There's the inverting gravity, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my god. The inverting gravity. I'm worried. I am very worried about
not
it.
to focus too much on chat, but like Valk said, fairly playable by Sonic standards these days is kind of good.
Oh.
Fair enough.
Okay. Well, like in Mario games, when you need a like reverse gravity and you go on the other side, that always messes me up big time. So I'm kind of worried that my pro strats won't be so pro anymore when I have to encounter that. Yeah, I'll have to learn.
There's an indie game that's quite popular called VVVVVV, and the entire game is just, inverting gravity over and over.
Oh.
So I've had a lot of practice at that. Should be alright.
Okay, so you're gonna be good.
Yeah, I do want to get out ahead of something though, and come out now in support of the Shadow Circle. I like the Shadow Circle. I think it's a good addition.
I just wonder if they're gonna make it optional. For those who don't know what we're talking about,
I have looked it up. They are making it optional.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's basically kind of like easy mode for platforming. So when Crash is jumping, or Coco or whoever, you can see where you're going to land because there's a yellow circle outlining it. And in fact, I also saw it on flying enemies. I don't think it was yellow. It might have been a red circle.
Yeah.
But you also see like where exactly they are, which I think, yeah, like I said, is easy mode. Will the game like suddenly be too easy to play? No, it's still going to be very challenging, but you know, it's like random.
I think it's you can remove that barrier if it bothers you that much, but
Okay.
it's not really an issue. I'm used to playing platform games. So I'm used to looking out for that shadow, but the option is there if you're not.
I don't think the easy mode is the right term for it. I prefer to think of it as precision mode.
Yeah.
So to a certain
Sure.
extent, I actually think it heightens the skill ceiling of the game. The developers will be able to demand more precise movement and actions out of you. I don't know if they're actually going to have that kind of difficulty in the game, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to think about it. Okay.
Especially with the camera angles as well. I guess your depth perception could be a little bit off.
Definitely.
Well, yeah, it definitely happens a lot when I play games that I think I'm landing somewhere, but then I don't. But I just kind of always saw that as part of platforming, like it's part of the challenge. You gotta know, you gotta see things. But
Yeah.
I feel like since the option is there, I'm gonna want to use it. Even if I'm saying like, oh yeah, it's easy mode. Since it's there, I'm gonna be like, well, guess I'm turning it on. I don't know.
I presume you're going to play on the modern no lives mode. I don't know what to really call it. The one with unlimited lives,
Probably.
rather than the plastic mode. Yeah, good.
Again,
I think
because it's
that's the fair
there.
way to play it. Yeah.
It's so might as well. Plus, I kind of like the feature where it shows you how many times you've died. So it's kind of like does a
really?
kill
That's
count for you.
interesting.
Yeah.
So you have your own death counter.
And each level, if you're playing on the modern, it'll show you how many times you've died.
Oh wow.
Didn't know that. Nice.
So we don't need a stream counter for deaths anymore. I mean, we could for deaths like overall, but like per level, it shows you. So it's pretty neat. It's just like nice to know how bad you are or how good you are. Maybe.
I love knowing how bad I am. Genuinely.
One of the lessons that Celeste teaches us in like the second level is that we should be proud of our death count. And I think that applies here as well.
Oh, there you go. I haven't played
Still not
Celeste
played
yet.
Celeste. Yeah, same.
So, but that's cute.
Heathens.
But speaking about levels and difficulty, if you do think that, oh, this is just easy mode, the game's too easy, there's apparently going to be challenge levels as well, which I believe are called flashback levels. Where
Yeah, I saw that today actually.
yeah, apparently it's a challenge to unlock them in the first place. Like you need to like collect some tapes from the levels, and then once you do unlock them, they're gonna be just hard mode, just difficult stuff and things.
Was I right in seeing the castle level from the first Crash game in there?
Yes, I think so, because it's gonna show you the lore, like new story from before the Crash 1 game timeline.
I don't want to replay that level, it was horrible.
So
That's actually a fair point, though. The fact that there is story at all in this, like far and away more than there's ever been in a Crash previously, is quite a big deal as well. So looking forward to that.
And obviously, I'm really excited about those skins. Never have I ever played a Crash platformer and thought about dressing up the characters, but now I'm like, why didn't I? I love skins like in games. Like I don't buy skins like for real money, but I will.
I like unlocking skins.
Yeah, unlocking skins is super fun, and the ones we've seen so far, they're just so nice. And there's like 5 characters, so I feel like it's going to be a lot of work to unlock all the skins you want, because there's so many characters. And you unlock, like, you get currency for skins, I think, from like completing challenges in the games, or like, you know, getting all the boxes in a level, not dying in the level and completing it, stuff like that, I think. So more
Yeah.
motivation to challenge yourself. So that's pretty cool.
Is the multiplayer? I'm sure that I saw something about
Yes.
some kind of co-op option, or
I want to say almost unfortunately, there's a multiplayer. It does not look good for like all the positive stuff we've been saying about is the multiplayer. Looks boring.
It does look tacked on. Like, I get why they've done it that way. Like, it is the best they could have done without like doing extremely huge overhauls of how the game works. But it's a little underwhelming, I suppose.
Like maybe they haven't uncovered something yet, but from what I've seen so far, the multiplayer is just it's like a kind of a race, but it's you passing the controller back and forth to see who can get through a specific spot faster.
See, I don't like sharing, so that's it's gonna be a no from me.
It's just basically just playing the game normally, but passing the controller. So
If they've done that,
when I played,
I would have liked to have seen
with my siblings.
Oh yeah. I would have loved to have seen that online though, with some kind of leaderboards and being able to see, each other's plays, because you can see like a little ghost of the other person.
Yeah, I was about to say that actually. Like just a time attack mode where, like, argument's sake, me and Kyle play the same level, but we're not sharing the same space.
Yeah,
he's a ghost, I'm a ghost, kind of thing. I'd like that.
They specifically said, I think, that there will not be any online leaderboards. I'm like, oh, so it's not like they're not even thinking about it, huh? They're not even working on it. Cool.
It's just weird. It's like they've got that tech there in the game available to be used in that way. So why wouldn't they go ahead and do that? It's so strange to make it a multiplayer instead of an online leaderboard component.
Yeah, it's
something they could add in the future, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe they'll hear all the feedback and work in some different multiplayer stuff, because so far it just seems like something that I will never use. Then plus the PlayStation isn't portable, so it's not like I can easily bring it somewhere for local co-op anyway.
That's true.
So did you guys have anything else you wanted to say about Crash?
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah,
massively.
Definitely.
It's been a long time since I've played a pure original platform game. I think the last platform game I played was Ukulele, which was essentially a Banjo-Kazooie skin.
But like a bad one.
But like, yeah.
Unfortunately. But yeah, I guess that's a good idea to say that, because we might have ended on a negative note on Crash, but like, no, I am very excited for it. There's just this multiplayer aspect, just not great, but like in general, I'm going to play the game tomorrow.
I don't think it's going to take away from the game at all. At least.
It just doesn't add anything.
Sure.
But our next game is Watch Dogs Legion, which is coming out October 29th. And from their website, in Watch Dogs Legion, near future London is facing its downfall. Unless you do something about it, build a resistance, fight back, and give the city back to the people. It's time to rise up. Kyle, would you like to take a stab at this?
Well, sure. So I didn't play either of the previous Watch Dogs games. I actually thought it was an X-Men spin-off, but that seems to be entirely false. It's its own unique IP. So I'm hyped for it now that I've learned about the game. I didn't know anything about it until about 2 hours ago. But
he's off to be on a gaming show.
Yeah, well, I did my research, last minute, as always.
Of course.
But, yeah, it's set in London, and I kind of like when things are set in London, especially, near future London, just because I know enough about the place that I can recognize, genuine places. I think you don't have to have played the first two, which is ideal for me, because I wouldn't want to go back and play them. The voice acting I wanted to give particular mention to. They seem to have entirely filled it with an actual British cast of people, not even only speaking either Cockney or received pronunciation, but actually all kinds of British dialects, which is huge. I'd like to see them. Maybe they actually do, and I just haven't seen any of them in the trailers that I've watched. But there doesn't seem to be anyone that's not British in it. But Britain's an extremely multicultural place, so I would expect they've probably got some other accents in there as well. But maybe I just haven't seen those trailers in particular. And the gameplay itself, I like the thing I watched was there was about 20 different characters, and you could choose from any of them to do the first mission, and you would do it very differently depending on the character. But that's quite an audacious claim to have 20 different characters and have them all feel substantially different from each other, especially because you'd have to put resources into creating the mission such that you were doing something substantial as each individual character. So we'll see how that actually pans out. But yeah, I'm hyped for it. I think it looks fantastic.
What about you, Dan?
I love playing games that are set in the UK, like anywhere in the UK. Basically, the last London-based game I played was The Getaway, and I think they did what they did with this was create a faithful reimagining of London, which I'm quite excited to see. Not that I've ever been to London in real life, but I've played the first two Watch Dogs games. The first one very lackluster, to the point where I didn't get Watch Dogs 2 immediately, but I played it last year and it addressed every issue that I had with the first game. So I'm really looking forward to playing this one. And the recruitment stuff, the fact that your characters can permanently die, so you have to recruit new characters, kind of creates that level of challenge as well, because if you get a character that you're attached to, you could lose that character forever.
Yeah, I think we're not supposed to get attached to any of them. That's a bad idea.
We're inhuman, Asevera.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm going to treat each and every one of them as my own children.
You're gonna have a bad time if you think like that. But I didn't notice the accent thing, but then again, I'm not
I
British.
didn't notice the accent thing.
But someone did say that there is South Asian accents in the game. But I was gonna say, in the cinematic trailer, they were talking about how they were getting rid of all the immigrants. So that could explain why everyone's British.
Like a post leaving the European settings. It's,
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I suppose for us it'd be post Brexit, I guess.
It might strike a chord with people nowadays, actually, with everything going on, because they're tackling, immigration problems, and there's protester problems in the game, so people might enjoy going against the system in this and living out their wildest dreams.
Yeah, definitely intentional from them.
One of my biggest issues lately with Ubisoft games is they make their maps too big, but it doesn't seem like they're going to make this game quite so bigger is better. This game is 100,000 miles long. It'll take you this amount of time to get to the end of it.
Actually,
London is quite dense. If they were to make it too big, then that would probably even just be too much work for them as well. So it's good that they make it small and can make it actually faithful. So that should be good.
I haven't played the game, but I watched a video about someone talking about playing the game, and they were saying, and maybe this is just because it's, before release, but they were saying they played it for 4 hours, and they just had to keep going back to the same exact location to do different missions there that are very similar. And 2 of the missions were actually exactly the same. Recruitment missions, to, I guess, recruit a new NPC into your organization. They were exactly the same in the exact same location. The character who was asking for help is the same person, same voice actor. So it was repetitive. So I wonder if maybe they didn't quite add enough locations. So maybe they should have made it bigger. But maybe it's because it hadn't released yet, and that's what they included in the playable demos and whatnot. I guess we'll have to see about that. But yes, every NPC is playable if you didn't quite catch that.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, amazing. That's what made me excited about this game.
They all have their own classes as well.
Yeah, they're all different.
What it looks like.
They have
So,
their
like,
own
you can-
equipment sets and abilities and whatnot. I mean, you can play as grannies. How cool is that? Make a
I did see the
granny
granny,
to
yeah.
battle. That is so awesome.
I've got a grandmother in real life that's exactly like that, so
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'm sure you
It's
do.
always the danger with procedurally based games. Like, I presume that a lot of these little recruitment missions are, procedurally generated rather than scripted. And there's always a danger that that makes them all very samey. I think a lot of developers see the randomness of procedural generation to mean that they're all going to be unique, but they're never really.
Well, it sounded
So-
like the mission was exactly the same. So it was like it picked from a collection that they have. But
Oh, I
since
see.
it repeated, it just sounds like they didn't have that many to select from in the first place. And if people keep dying and you keep recruiting new ones and then it's the same missions, I don't know. That doesn't sounds like it's going to get a little boring, but I'm not sure.
Just don't get them killed. Just be good at the game.
See, that's
Or
what I'm
easy.
worried about. If I do play it, I'm pretty sure everyone's going to just keep dying all over the place. And then I'm going to have to recruit everybody, like 10 new people a day.
Gonna have to get better.
Yeah. So that's probably the reason why I wouldn't be sure if, like, should I play this game? I'm not that good at this type of games, and with permadeath on.
I don't think either games had any real difficulty. Like, they weren't hard games. They were just silly fun for the most part.
Okay.
But you could die because you had a main protagonist. So
I see. Well,
one
if
thing
anyone...
I couldn't.
Oh,
Sorry, you go.
no, you go.
One thing I couldn't find any information on was multiplayer other than co-op, which I'm not a massive PvP person, but there was the first and second game had a trying to think what it was called.
Like
that's
the boxing
it's like
stuff, maybe?
no, but there is the mini games where you can play football and like boxing and things like that with other players, which is quite cool.
This one has it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what I might have to look up real quick. It had like a breach mode where you attacked another player's world and you had to like download data from that person. It was basically hide and seek.
Huh.
So
Well, that sounds like fun.
You'd like interact a hack with them, and then you'd hide somewhere, like, and try and blend in. And this other player has to find you. And like, I just like hide and seek. Apparently, I'm still 8 years old.
That sounds nice. Maybe they'll add it later, because there's definitely no word of that. There was football.
Yeah, I couldn't find any. I like obsessively tried to look for it as well because I loved it so much. I don't know if they've not given any details on it because the other two games have already covered it, so they're just like, yeah, this game has it, or if they're just.
For the record, we all like hide and seek. That's why
Yeah, that's
collectibles
true.
in video games are so good.
I do like hide and seek. Played that a lot as a kid. And hopefully they'll add it to Watch Dogs Legion eventually. But yeah, there's football, there's boxing. Oh, street art posting. So there's co-op street art posting. Sounds like an interesting mode to check out. It's I guess. I'm curious to
As
see
long
what
as you
that...
don't have to be artistic, then fine.
Right? Because I'm
'Cause
not
that's where I wouldn't
actually good
excel.
at art. So...
I really
love-
appreciate that you're calling the football right now rather than calling it soccer, by the way. Thank you.
It's because the game called it that. It's not actually Asevera calling it that.
Well, I'm not American, so
I suppose.
I can go both ways with football and soccer. But yeah, I didn't even think about that. But I want to say that's everything I had to say about the game. Did you guys have any other thoughts?
Nothing really. Nothing that hasn't been covered.
Just one last thing I noticed from the trailers. We see a bit of gunplay, like sort of close quarters fighting with guns and stuff, and it looks very automatic, almost like a kind of scripted cutscene. So I don't really know, how interactive that kind of stuff actually is. But
Yeah, it is basically just a button press, to be honest with you. From my experience with the other two games, it looks
would you
nice.
compare it to something like the Batman Arkham games, or is it even more of a button press than that?
Even more of just one button press kind of thing. Like you get close to an enemy, you press A button, you do a cool thing, and then you move on. It looks nice.
Yeah, it did.
Like that it's not too difficult. Sounds like less dying to me, basically.
We'll
so
see.
that's a good thing. All right, the next game I have on the roster is Pikmin 3 Deluxe. Now, when I first heard about this, because I've never played a Pikmin game, when I first heard about this, I thought it was going to be this big release, but I think I might be wrong. But here's what they have on the website. Crash land onto a planet. Actually, wait, this isn't on the website. Never mind. Don't listen to me. In this game, this is what I wrote myself. You seem to crash land onto a planet, and then when you're there, you encounter some weird creatures, and they start doing things for you. You can command them to do tasks.
That is literally the premise of Pikmin. I've only ever played the first one, and I'm pretty sure in this one, because it's obviously it's also a re-release from a Wii U title. You're trying to populate and help your planet survive, so you land on this planet to try and find like food resources, and then you encounter these creatures that do everything you want. It's very much puzzle-based adventure game, which when I first played Pikmin 1, I was too young and too dumb to understand what I was doing.
Nice.
But I still enjoyed it. Whereas now I'm just looking forward to playing a nice puzzle game.
All right, Kyle, any thoughts?
So it has the same kind of charm that we've come to expect from Nintendo games. They really, particularly over the past 5 years or so, they've been putting enormous amounts of charm into their games. Like there's so much character into all of the actions and environments. It seems to be more or less just a straight port, though. Like there's some additional features, but there's no graphical upgrades as far as anyone can tell. And there's this cooperative play, which seems to me to be, well, at least from my point of view, to be the most important addition. But we don't really know much about it yet. We don't know how it works.
Is it an addition, or the
I think it's
original
an
already had it? No, because I thought all Pikmin games were co-op. Anyone can check.
It's certainly
and confirm,
something
please
that
do.
they've sort of highlighted that as being a new thing. Also, the fact that we don't really seem to know much about it, I think that does strongly suggest that it wasn't in the previous one. But I don't know how much you can really cooperate in a puzzle resource management strategy game. Like, how much cooperative play can that really facilitate?
I think on this particular game, you play as 3 characters on the fly anyway. So I think it'd be more or less splitting the load. Because I'm not sure if certain characters can command certain Pikmin, or if you assign certain characters certain Pikmin. Because I think there's at least 5 or 6 different types that all have their different abilities to get through different obstacles.
I played a little bit of a Pikmin game. I don't know which one, and not for long, but I played it co-op, and so I'm assuming this game is going to be the same as that one. But it's a split screen mechanic. You can, attract some Pikmins to you, run one way, deal with like one enemy, the other person can like take another group with them, go somewhere else, and just like it's basically just makes it, I guess, maybe a little faster because you can attack multiple places at once. But yeah, it worked well with co-op.
They're definitely charming games, so I do highly rate the series, even though I've only played one.
So interesting how you guys were mostly positive on this game, because what I have to say is not so positive. So I guess all the Nintendo fans, buckle up. So, like, yeah, visuals appear. So this is on the Wii U, right? It's a Wii U game, and they're just porting it to the Switch. Visuals appear to be pretty much the same. There is no visual upgrade, so it's not like a remaster. They're just porting it onto the Switch. And the deluxe in the title seems to be coming from, like, they added some story missions, and they included all the DLC, I guess. And there's a new difficulty option. So I guess, I don't know if it's easy mode or hard mode, but new difficulty option. But the audacity of Nintendo to charge $60 for a port that doesn't even have graphical upgrades.
Why are you surprised? They do this all the time.
Well, like, okay, so comparing Activision, right, with Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, they did from the ground up complete remakes, remasters. There's 3 games included, $40, just amazing remakes. I was already unhappy with Nintendo when they did Zelda Link's Awakening, because that's just one. Yeah, they remastered it, they made it better, but that was just one game for $60. Yeah, they added like the extra thing, but I didn't like the dungeon maker thing, but it was not that great. I didn't like it. I don't think a lot of people liked it. 60. Okay, that was already kind of like, what are you doing? Okay, I guess they're Nintendo. They do Nintendo things.
Nintendo VAT.
Then recently, the Mario trilogy, the All-Stars, whatever it's called, there's like minor graphical improvements, I believe. They're not actually remastered. And they are $60 as well. But this one game without graphical improvements, just a port pretty much, $60? What's up with that? Why are people paying this money for this? Like, what? $60? What is going on? I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on. Can you guys tell me what's going on? Someone tell me what's going on.
Nintendo, innit? That's basically it.
They do really gouge folks on price, particularly recently, and it is an issue. But folks are
because
buying
because they know they can get away with it, because they know that no other system can get those games.
Yeah.
The Nintendo fans, they need to revolt.
They do minor sales price cuts in certain games. I don't think any of their massive titles have ever gone on sale for less than £30.
I don't mind that it's a straight port. I think that's fine. I mean, Breath of the Wild was pretty much a straight port.
Yeah,
that just came out at the same time on 2 different consoles. I don't even see it like a port.
I mean, there was only a very minor graphical upgrade as well, though. But I suppose the Switch actually isn't very much more powerful than the Wii U anyway, because of the nature of the console, I guess. I absolutely agree with you, though, that it's too expensive.
Yeah.
For exactly the reason.
Yeah, they can port it fine.
Like the Spyro trilogy and everything that was only $30 or whatever.
40.
So.
I think they did Mario Wii U one, and they've done a Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. I think they were the straight ports as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's just Nintendo being Nintendo.
Yeah, it's not the fact that they're porting games is my issue. It's the fact that they're charging full price. And like the game doesn't look that great. It just looks like an old game. Yeah, I would not. Who's paying $60 for this? Stop it! Stop it! You're you're part of the problem, because they see you paying $60 for this readily, and they're like, we're gonna keep doing this. Let's like release more old games and charge like new game prices for it. You need to stop it. Stop buying games.
Asevera, stop having an opinion in 2020.
Right. And don't even get me started on the whole Mario thing, although I guess I already started. So here it is. It's also limited in time? What? So you're porting 3 games for $60 with minor upgrades, and it's limited in time. During a pandemic where a lot of people are losing their jobs, they need to pay $60 right now. It's not like they can wait for a sale later or wait to get like maybe a job again because they're struggling right now. Like, no, you gotta buy it right now and you gotta pay $60. Yeah. That's my opinion.
Despite what's being said in chat there as well, there was an upgraded version of Mario 64 that put some genuine great additions to the game in there, and they could have had that one as the re-release, but they went for the original.
Yeah,
I understand probably purists would be.
I was
so
about to say
annoyed.
purists hated that re-release. I loved that re-release. It was a very nice addition to have on a handheld console.
Yeah. So I guess the moral of the story is stop buying the ports for full price, so they stop doing this. But to maybe redeem Nintendo now, the next game or the next DLC I wanted to talk about is the Pokemon Crown Tundra, which I am actually excited for, and I will be playing, unlike all these ports that cost $60.
Is it a good time for me to say that I might be part of the problem because I have purchased the Mario game? I have not purchased the Pokemon DLC.
Wow.
And
Wow. See, this is why they were like, why do we need to release this new stuff when we can just re-release old stuff and people buy it?
I do plan on getting the Pokemon DLC though because I loved this new game.
So the Pokemon Crown Tundra is coming out October 22nd, and this is the second part of the DLC. The first part is, what is it called? Isle of Armor, and that one's already out, in case you didn't know. But the DLC is $30, so it includes both Crown Tundra plus Isle of Armor, $30, which is much better, my personal opinion, than a port of a Pikmin game on the, but we're talking about something else now. But yeah, thoughts, Dan?
I've played Pokemon since 1996. I think I've played every single one apart from Sun and Moon. So I'm always excited for my Pokemon.
Did you see the trailer, the new stuff for this one?
I did. Is there extra story content? Because that's never been clear to me. It looks like new areas.
Well, the way I understood it is probably it's going to be like kind of the same thing as Isle of Armor, so they're probably going to have like some sort of storyline going on to like add a little bit. If they don't, then I will complain about it later. But I think so.
they seem to have brought back the legendaries from every generation.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
Yes.
I can't imagine them doing that without there being some story behind it. So,
unless it's just the Dynamax raid
well,
missions, I guess,
it's a den kind of thing. All the legendaries, if I'm not mistaken, it's actually a new multiplayer component. Which what I'm most excited about this DLC is that, yeah, Pokemon has multiplayer, but it's very sparse, and it's all right, but now they're adding more, so that's exciting, like new ways to play with friends. So you can go apparently into these dens now and explore them with your friends and kind of hunt these legendaries, which is super cool. And
it's definitely more appealing than the menu clicking raids.
Yeah, definitely. So, and just the whole aesthetic of it, I like it a lot more than the Isle of Armor as well. It's just beautiful, snowy landscapes. I would like to explore them. The jumpsuits, the orange jumpsuits, are kind of weird. They remind me of if you guys know the show Misfits, where they're like on community service, they're wearing the orange jumpsuit.
So I have to take off my British hat now, and because I've never seen it.
Oh,
Never.
yeah, I guess you do.
It's very good there.
I guess I'm British now. I've seen Misfits. It's a great show.
Never do that again.
Oh, that bad, huh?
That was actually different from your ordinary British accent, though. So I think that's
yeah. One of my mods is Canadian, and she tries to do impressions of me, and I'm not into it.
Kyle's used to it. I'm always pretending I'm British.
On that subject, please say the words smoke and smirk for us, Dan.
Nope.
God damn it.
What's wrong with those words?
Nothing. It's fine. Never mind. He'll be mad at me if I start talking about it too much.
Well, darn.
I'll be mad at you.
Now I want to know. Oh, and there's also, I mean, it's not a huge part of the DLC, but you can get special Pikachus wearing hats, which is adorable. But you have to look out like for special codes that are going to appear like, I guess on maybe like the website, or it said they will appear in different spots. And the first one was in the trailer, so you can redeem Pikachus wearing hats. So which is,
I'm guessing because Pokemon Home is compatible with Pokemon Go, isn't it?
I don't play Pokemon Go, so I'm not sure, but probably.
I think it is. I'm pretty sure I'd be able to because they did a lot of events when Pokemon Goes, but they'll probably still do events now where you've got Pikachus with hats that you could just transfer to Home and then transfer to Sword and Shield.
All right. I guess now it's just like a direct thing.
Yeah.
What time to be alive?
I know.
So if anyone wants the special Pikachus with hats, I guess go look for the codes, because I think it's like a limited time thing.
Can the
might be wrong.
Pikachus evolve? Because Raichu is better.
Does the Raichu still have a hat?
Oh, yeah. I feel like it probably doesn't.
Does the hat evolve? Is it the same hat? Is the hat sentient? Is the hat a Pokemon?
Whoa.
So many questions.
If Raichu doesn't have the hat, it's lost a sale, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I feel like it will not evolve, because whenever there's a special Eevee or Pikachu, they just don't evolve. And I'm tired of all these Pikachus and Eevees that can't evolve. I want to evolve them, but the game's not letting me. Like the Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
Yeah.
Couldn't evolve them. I really wanted to, but you couldn't. You couldn't do it.
Lovely games, though.
Oh yeah, lovely. Is it worth $60? That's another podcast right there. That's another Asevera Nintendo rant. But I actually borrowed it from a friend, so it was worth the free price. Definitely, I enjoyed it. I did. I just didn't want to pay for it. If that makes sense. A lowland Raichu. What does a lowland Raichu look like? Is that the one that's surfing on its tail?
It floats on its tail. I think it's a psychic type as well. Yes,
I love that one. I think it's. I don't want to spoil. Never mind. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. Any more thoughts on Pokemon?
I will buy it eventually when I'm ready to pick up Pokemon again, because I had a lot of fun with it. But I have this problem with Pokemon games that as soon as I've done the story, I just stop.
Yeah, I didn't continue it either.
Like the main thing with Pokemon is catching every single one, and I've only ever done that with Generation 1 and 2. I think I just lacked the drive and the time, so I'm not sure if giving the temporary life would be worthwhile for me, but I don't think I'd go past doing the extra story content, I guess. But that's more of a me issue than a game issue.
Yeah, I don't go crazy about catching all of them either. I've never caught all of them, but I haven't actually played that many Pokemon games. So I played, basically I played Pokemon Blue. And then, like, there was, like, a little bit of Pokemon X involved, but then I basically just jumped to Pokemon Shield. So it was quite the difference. It was very different games. But yeah, I never caught them all. But I do enjoy the story.
That's impressive.
Yeah. I already have the DLC, and I did like Isle of Armor. So I'm excited for this one. And maybe I'll actually play a little longer, like even after I do the story, just because of the multiplayer. If the multiplayer is good and it's fun to play with friends, it will give it a longer lifespan for me.
Yeah, if it's more than just a few menu clicks and then you're in a big fight together, then I'm all for that.
Here's to hoping. All right, if we are done with this one, then I'm going to put on my next video, which is the best video ever. But I want to ask you guys, what have you been playing recently? Kyle?
2 games on the go at the moment. A couple of months ago, finally started playing Horizon Zero Dawn because I found it really cheap on eBay, and it's actually incredible. I played it this morning for about 10 hours straight, such is how good it is.
Wow.
The voice acting is fantastic. I mean, I don't really know how much time I'm expecting to get out of it, but it's like a kind of Far Cry kind of thing where if you want to do everything, you probably can sink like a good 30 hours or something like that into it. But it's just such a compelling world, and I wasn't expecting it to be so stylized, I guess. I thought it was just another standard open world game, but actually it's really lovely and incredible. And Ashley Birch as Aloy, the main character, is fantastic in it. So
I played it at the start of the year. Yeah, it was a very nice game. Very nice game.
I still haven't played it, but I know it's amazing, and everyone always says how amazing it is. I'm like, someday, at some point, I'm going to play it.
The sequel should be out soon.
Yeah.
Will it even be available on the PS4?
Probably not. But you haven't played the first one yet.
Yeah, so I guess before maybe the sequel comes out, I can play the first one, since people are going to be hyped up for the sequel. So, yeah.
It's on sale just now on PSN as well. For like 5 of our British pounds, so I guess like $8 for you or something.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I paid 15 with the DLC, and it wasn't on sale.
I see.
Oh, actually, it's not on sale anymore. Never mind.
What are you playing, Dan? I know you talked about it a little bit at the start, but tell us again.
Yeah, I'm playing Bloodborne properly for the first time. That's a thing. People are mad at me because I'm not struggling as much as I should be. But I was doing challenge runs before that, and this is kind of like a bit of a break. I'm also playing Death Stranding.
So you're a pro gamer, is what I'm hearing.
No, I've played a lot of Souls games.
Okay.
Basically.
Right.
Just played a lot of Souls games. I played Death Stranding.
It's pretty pro to play the game that is famously difficult and think, oh, you know what? Let's make it harder.
Right.
I'm not doing that with Bloodborne. I'm just playing a normal playthrough.
You have done in the past, though. And you did it with Jedi Fallen Order, trying to do it without getting hit at all. Like, that's madness.
Yeah. But that's not Bloodborne.
I suppose.
And I never did it. I beat it deathless, but not hitless. Or damageless. But yeah, Death Stranding. I've put off playing that since release last year. I played it for the first time on Monday, and I thought I'd hit the walking simulator aspect of the game, but I am really, really drawn in.
Oh, okay. So you like walking?
I like walking.
Cool.
I like walking with atmosphere. I think I found.
Very nice. I'm playing Spiritfarer, trying really hard to finish it before Crash comes out tomorrow. I don't think I will, but it's lovely. It's a lovely indie title that has Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley vibes. If you enjoy those games, I think you'll enjoy Spiritfarer. I don't want to, spoil it, but you are helping spirits pass on to the afterlife and kind of like fulfill their lives before they do so. But it's very wholesome. You can hug the characters. You can snuggle your cat. So, 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Sounds heart-wrenching as well.
Yeah, I've cried. I've already cried while playing it, so there's that. You will get the feels. All right, let's to wrap up, you guys can tell everybody where they can find you off of this talk show. Dan?
You can find me on Twitch via Dante Must Die 8. I stream 3-4 times a week when I can, but my schedule depends on work, so I don't fix my schedule.
Makes sense. Kyle, do you want people to find you anywhere?
I'm in a number of people's Twitch chats.
Oh.
I'm trying to position myself as some kind of Twitch socialite, so if you ever see me, you know, by all means say hello. That'll be nice.
You get around, I've noticed. It's nice.
I do like to get around, it's true.
Yeah.
I see. And my name is Asevera, and you can find me in a lot of places. You can find me everywhere. Find me on Twitch, Instagram, TikTok now, Twitter, YouTube. What else is there? I am in too many places, so.
I've had Instagram for a month.
Wow! Congratulations! Welcome.
Thank you.
But I think that is it. So thank you everybody for watching, listening, and see you next time.
See ya.